All right, welcome back to another post game on Rangers Central. And I'm sorry that I did not go live right away after this game because I've been cleansing my eyeballs watching the New York Mets over this crap for the past few days. And it is just so much more refreshing to watch a team that's actually winning games and that's actually fun to, sit down every night, 7 o'clock to watch versus this. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I watched every second dialed in. I had it on the side on my iPad, but I did not care. Really, who cared? Once they were down 3-0, I bet most people just turn their TVs off either way. Because what is the point of watching? Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. I'm going in circles. This team, it's the same thing every night. They're not going to make the playoffs. They pretty much solidified that by losing tonight because they have to virtually win every single game. Not virtually, they do have to win every single game to make the playoffs at this rate. It at least feels like. And this team hasn't won 3 games in a row since November, which again, I'm a broken record here, but it's not going to happen. They're not going to win 3 games in a row. And yeah, season's probably done at this point. And I'll get into, the overall season thoughts when it's officially over because now is not the time for that because I have a lot to say, obviously. And that alone, there's going to be a lot of content in the offseason just ranting about this team and ripping this team a new asshole. So again, now is not the night for that one. And I know, listen, I'm not saying they're going to win 5 straight games. I'm not saying that. I just said they're not doing that. I'm just saying they have to win 5 games to make the playoffs, and they're not doing that. I agree. What is there to say? Because I didn't watch much, but I saw a bunch of clips of this team whining to the referees the entire time, like they usually do. I saw Carson Soucy just make me want to throw up, like always. And yeah, Will Borgen too. Brain Schneider, the entire D core of third pair defensemen that they got there, all of them making me want to stab my eyeballs. I don't know what you want me to say, but hey, Mika scored on the power play. Good for him. Congrats to Mika. The only thing that really I guess I was off in terms of just with the script for this one. I knew Kucherov would score. I knew Point would score. I thought Gensel would score too, but he still had I think like a 3 or 4 point night. So either way, just still had a good night. Still had a really good night. Gabe Perreault got moved down to the third line tonight, which is pretty funny because again, why? The season is a lost cause. Why are these guys even playing? Or why are these guys not getting the top minutes? Why are guys like Chris Kreider playing? Why are guys like Mika Zibanejad still getting ice time? I guess it takes them to it will take officially being eliminated for this team to actually maybe play the young guys, and even then they probably won't. And listen, I don't like Chris Drury, but I'm not going to ridicule him for the whole thing with Gabe Perreault and having the burn a year of his ELC because at the end of the day, Gabe Perreault kind of had more of the leverage in that spot. So really, what was again? I hate Chris Drury, and I fortunately, because it's free. Unfortunately, I'm going to be in attendance on Wednesday. You know exactly what Chan I'm starting, but I can't fault him for this one. I really can't for this one. Yeah, Trocheck and Schneider just standing there as point is not getting moved out of the way. Thank you for the $2. Zach Jones Masterclass took Peter this long to figure out Jones Fox. And it's amazing too, right? So Peter Laviolette, Peter Laviolette sits Zach Jones for most of the season and then puts him with Adam Fox in the dire minutes of the game. So does he deserve minutes or not? Because you've sat him like he doesn't deserve to play. I don't know. Leave a like, by the way, if you haven't already on your way into the stream, or if you're watching on replay. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Give a 5-star rating and review if you're listening to the audio version. Spotify, Apple Podcast, whatever your podcasting platform is. Give a rating and review. I would appreciate that a lot. If you guys are interested in baseball content and you're Mets fans, because I know that there's going to be a couple of Yankee fans in here that are throwing tomatoes at me. But if you're a Mets fan, go check out Mets Central, where I'll be doing a post game right after this to talk about their game, and I will be in a much better mood. Could tell you that for free. So I'm kind of going off the comments to see how this game went because, like I said, I wasn't fully dialed into this one, and I wouldn't blame anyone in the chat though if they weren't either. Because why the hell would you even care about watching this crap right now? They quit on us, so who cares? Who's coaching next year? Not Peter Laviolette. Probably John Tortorella. And if John Tortorella is the coach next season, I'm taking a step back from this team. But uh it won't be Peter Laviolette. They're gonna fire Laviolette. I at least think so. Yeah, Jones is probably the best defenseman tonight. Sit him next game. Sit him. Torts is worse than Laviolette. That's the problem. Torts is worse because the young guys at least play under Laviolette. The young guys are going to sit in the press box under John Tortorella. Am I going to go live after the game? If you're talking about Wednesday, I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. I'm either going to go live from the Garden after the game, or I'll just wait until I get home and do the live stream. Whatever I'm feeling that night. I can't say which way it's gonna go just yet, but one of those ways. I'm gonna be so thrilled on Wednesday though. Gonna be thrilled. If you hear Fire Drury chants, you know who started it though. Can tell you that. I'm gonna have a great time. Go live with the Fire Drury chant. I would if I didn't have to risk getting copyrighted in the arena. What am I doing on Wednesday? Going to the Mets game and then going to the Rangers game that night. I thought we had some good looks by watching the Mets over the slop. Yeah. Honestly, you were completely right, Carson, when you said I forgot when you said it, but you said a couple weeks ago, I don't have to watch this shit. I could just sit here and I know what happened probably because if they played good, they are just bad that they found a way to lose, or they just flat out got shit on. So it really doesn't matter. Don't torture myself like that. Free tickets. That's literally the only reason I'm going. I would not be going otherwise. I've made that abundantly clear that I would not step foot in the Garden um if I had to pay to go back there. I'm sure as hell not spending money to go there. But for free, I'm gonna go. Sell them to some sucker. It's not my tickets. Shout out to Joey Day. It says tickets, so I can't even sell them. It's like I'm in on this. I'm in, and I'll be there. It's only one game. That's right. Brandon Tortorella is going to make the power play worse than it currently is. Well, they scored tonight though. Sharp. That means the power play was good. They scored. That's where number 20 is going. That's exactly where it's going, Laugh. Moral victories, remember. If they took any moral victories in April, I am gonna I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, but that actually makes me curious. Did they take any moral victories in April? Let's say when they're what 6 points behind a playoff spot. Let's see if they took moral victories today. That'd be great. Um, Lavi, let's. We need the game tonight. We didn't win. There's okay. Well, that's not really a moral victory there. Panarin, it's kind of real hard because it's last chances right now, but we still have them, and no one give up. Like we actually have to. We actually try to play every minute. Do you? Do you try to play every minute? Does not look like that, but sure. Whatever you say. Johnny Brodzinski on this one. I think we just got to win out now. It's no longer waiting, waiting it out kind of thing where we win a game and we're waiting to see what they do. We need to win out and we need help too. It sucks to be in this position. None of us want to be in it. It definitely sucks. You think, Johnny. But you know what? I listen. I'm not going to give Johnny Gaudreau. Johnny Gaudreau. Wow, I cannot believe I said that. That was terrible. I messed that up. Johnny Brodzinski, the Gaudreau jersey in the back, and I saw him. You know, his wife had their third child, which just really sad that he can't be there for his third child. But back to it. Johnny Brodzinski. I'm not going to give him too much shit because he didn't play every game this season, but um like it's like no shit. That's really the thing. It's like no shit, you know? It's like yeah, that's really what it is. Like they put themselves in their own in this spot. And again, I'm not going to kill Brodzinski for this one just because of the fact that he didn't play that much this season and at least he's looked effective for his role when he's in the lineup, but they did this to themselves. Thank you for the $5. Van Quick won the Mr. Ranger Award for leadership. The backup goalie won the award. What does that say about the guys wearing letters? The checked out Chris Kreider, the the great Mika Zibanejad, the one time king, the great Adam Fox. Need I say more? Trocheck is a disaster tonight on defense. He's been a disaster this entire season, truthfully. Like I said yesterday, though, it kind of, or 2 days ago, whenever it was, it kind of goes under the radar how bad he's been. Artemi Panarin, if we keep playing like that, we'll miss the playoffs. No shit, buddy. Thank you. I was not aware. Are we cooked for next year? Ask me that in a couple of months, probably, because again, as long as Chris Drury's here, I have little to no faith. But most likely, yeah. Yeah, I'd rather Montreal deserves to be in the playoffs more. Like Montreal will, like I said last stream, they'll put up a fight. Montreal will at least give Washington some sort of fight. This team is not giving Washington a fight at all. Let Montreal and that fan base have the postseason. I mean, they might as well bring Garand up. They probably won't, but might as well. They're not going to do it though unless they're officially eliminated, and even then, I don't think they're going to do that. Partially, but I'm not going to kill Igor for taking the money that Chris Drury offered. Chris Drury's the moron in all of this. I just I can't understand his decision making ever. I really can't, because pivoting to building around a 32-year-old JT Miller. And I'm surprised he wanted to even be here. I don't know why he'd rather be here than in Colorado. Yeah, Columbus making it for Johnny Gaudreau would be nice as well. Either of those teams. Can the damage Drury created be undone? I have no clue. I have zero clue, to be honest with you. Too many no trade clauses, I can tell you that. What direction do they go in? I don't know. I have zero clue, Dimitri. That's again the problem. I really don't know. All that missed playoff money should wake the owners up. For whatever reason, Dolan loves Chris Drury. I don't know what it is, but that's just the reality of it. No, 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 no. Just no. Let's stop this. No. That if losing Barkley Goodrow is what caused this team's downfall, I want all of them gone. I want every single one of them gone. If an overpaid fourth liner is the reason that they're broken, then just get rid of everyone. Barkley Goodrow fucking sucked. Even though the production he put up in the playoffs was what it was, he still got outscored on the ice in the postseason. This isn't because of Goudreau. This isn't because of Truba. It's because they're a bunch of whiny, sulky bitches who can't you know what? It correlates a bit because they can't handle the business side. But if them losing Barkley Goudreau is really what is causing them to miss the playoffs, like, come on. Yeah, country club losers. That's exactly what they are. They quit it in December when that memo went out. Chris Kreider, they should have moved Chris Kreider right then and there when they dropped the memo. There was no reason to keep him around. He has no desire to be here. Zero desire. Thank you for the $2, Adam. Thanks for covering this year. See you next year. I don't know how much you're going to see from me next year. I again, I will watch this team. I will do lives after a few games probably, but I am not committing myself to every single game next year probably. Depending how this offseason goes. And if it goes how I think it's going to go, I am not doing lives for every game next year. I'm just tired of tying myself into this garbage. And this is really what it comes down to. It's time for a rebuild, but Chris Drury's not going to let them, or is not going to put them in a spot to where they are going to rebuild. Chris Drury traded for a 32-year-old JT Miller and paid the goaltender. He thinks, for whatever reason, there's still juice left. And is it intelligent? Fuck no, but that's what it is, which is why I want to put my head through a damn wall. But yeah, I mean, no question they need to rebuild. It is absolutely time. And you know what? Chris Drury, I would actually applaud him if he decided to acknowledge he fucked up and put out a letter and say they're going to rebuild. But even if they do rebuild, are they going to rush it again? Wouldn't shock me, because they'll tear it down, and then next year they're going to see Connor McDavid's a free agent, and they're going to lick their chops. And don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining if they get Connor McDavid, but what are you surrounding him with at that point? And this is the problem. There's no core, there's no identity, there's nothing but a steaming hot pile of wolf shit. Thank you for the $2. Time to wake up. Can't judge Drury for what not asked to do till now. Not sure what you mean by that, but thank you for the $2. At least the Yankees are actually able to, you know, get guys up from the farm. And I know that right now, not a lot of their farm guys have panned out, but at least they have something there with that. This team, no. And they're tied into some of the shittiest contracts I've seen in my life. Will Borgen making as much money as he is for as long as he is, just beyond stupid. They're paying a third pair defenseman who was the worst defenseman on Seattle when they made the playoffs. They gave that guy, the guy the Buffalo Sabres left unprotected in an expansion draft, the Buffalo Sabres of all teams. That guy they gave 4.1 million, 4 or 5 years, whatever it is. They gave that guy that type of money. And then, you know, it's hilarious too, because they'll tell you this bullshit with Brain Schneider and say, well, we can't move him. We love him too much. You know, he's a huge part of this team. Every single time, though, they're getting guys to pass him on the depth chart. So are you in on Schneider or not? Because if you're not going to give Schneider a bigger role, then move him. Or flip Will Borgen. You can't have it both ways here. Because Adam Fox is clogging that top pair. And both of those guys, Schneider and Borgen, are third pair defensemen. I've seen nothing from Schneider to tell me he is going to be a second pair defenseman in this league, at least on the Rangers. Maybe another team will grab him and somehow make him good, because that's just how this goes. But it's not happening here. Absolutely not happening here. And then Will Borgen, he's not a second pair defenseman. How do they finish 500 again? Are they even 500 or just hockey 500? Yeah, they're hockey 500 right now. Need a first round draft pick and a new owner. Good thing Drury traded that first round pick for JT Miller. And a new owner, I mean, yeah, one could only dream. Thank you for the $2. That was an actual article on Blue Shirt Banter. I didn't see that. Instead, I see Molly Walker laughing at toilet and dick jokes in the newspaper headlines. I'm watching Vince beef with fans in the replies on Twitter. It's just like, even with the media team, it's just so much stupidity going on. And yeah, Borgen with a no move clause. Great job, Drury. Great job. Carson Soucy, I think, has partial trade protection. Let's see. Let's run down that list because it's my favorite exercise to do where we torture ourselves by looking at all the no move or all the trade protection for next season. So let's torture ourselves. Why not? So we got Artemi Panarin, Mika Zibanejad, JT Miller, Chris Kreider, Vinny Trocheck. Does Lafreniere's kick in next year? Yep, Lafreniere. So we're at 6. Um, who am I forgetting? Fox, I think his kicks in. Yep, 7 there. Will Borgen, we got 8. Carson Soucy, we got 9. And then Igor Shesterkin, 10. Jonathan Quick, 11. So they have 11 players with trade protection next season. I can't. I just
thought about killing myself.
I guess Chris Drury skipped the day of GMing school where you learn that you do not have to give every single player a no trade clause. 11 players. 11 of them. And then you might as well count Brain Schneider in that. You know, he doesn't officially have one, but we can't move Brain Schneider. No. Nope. When we were in contention a few years ago, instead of, getting JT Miller then when it made sense, nope. We have to hold on to Braden Schneider and worship this guy like he's the second coming of what was it, Victor Hedman that John Davidson was calling him in the war room when they drafted him, pumping his fist. Wonderful. Gives him out like candy. Drury was offering girls no movement clauses at his prom. Probably. I mean, that's probably the only way he was able to keep them around. That's a great comment, though. Yeah, Vancouver did laugh their asses off. I mean, the I saw the comments from Vancouver fans. They were parading when they got rid of the guy. I wish I had my green screen for this because I'd be able to do some really good effects with this, Dimitri. Who could they get as a new GM? Sonny Meta, Rich Peverly. So the two guys that I desperately just I want either one of them. Either one of them. I would love someone from a smart organization. At least we're provided with an expert travel guide from Molly Walker. Yes, kill me. Yeah, and we have a great food guide from Vince Mercogliano. I don't know if I'd be a great GM. I would love to be the GM, but I don't know if I would do great at it. Let's see. But yeah, just like with the Susie thing, they gave up a top 65 pick for a giraffe version of Ryan Lindgren. Every single time I fire up these live streams, it just makes things so much worse with the way that I feel. Like I'm being truthful here. This team pisses me off. It's just every time this microphone's in front of me, I just lose my mind more. Have I ever thought of doing a rant on WFAN? They don't talk about hockey there. So, no, I haven't. If you guys want to spam call them in though and get them to start talking about hockey, go ahead. And you know what, too? I have to say, I have to say something. I have to say that I'm sorry. I have to say that I'm sorry to the fans that were on me in the offseason when I was saying how I was annoyed that Drury didn't, you know, get certain players or target certain players, and everyone's like, well, what if they didn't want to come here? I apologize because you know what? It's a shame on me for assuming that Chris Drury built a good enough culture to where free agents would want to come here. That's on me. So I apologize to whoever was saying that in the offseason to me that, what makes me think that guys even want to come here, or, what if they didn't want to come here? It reflects on Chris Drury building a terrible culture. So again, on me. I'm really sorry about that. I just thought better and I'm stupid for that. Thank you for the $5 NG. Is Susie arguably worse than Lindgren? Yes. They somehow downgraded from Truba and Lindgren with Susie and Borgen. Yeah. I don't know. I have no clue. Yeah, I know. We're calling for Calvin DeHaan in the lineup. It's just calling for Calvin DeHaan in the lineup. Read Laviolette's comments. Why? Do you want me to torture myself more and pull my hair out? Let's see. I'll read his I'll read his bullshit. Let's see what the great Peter Laviolette is saying. Which comment are you referring to specifically, Laugh? Before I read any of them, which one are you referring to? The locker room? Um, could you just send me the tweet you're talking about, Laugh, and I'll read it. What did Lav tell the ref to get that 10-minute misconduct? I have no clue. All right. Thank you, Lav. Just saw that you sent it. Lavi have a message for the team at this stage. I don't have a message right now. I don't go into the locker room after the game. You're joking. There's just no way. There's just no way. Wow. Yeah, he's gone. He's gone. Holy fuck, he is gone. You're telling me that he just clocks in the work because he has to, and the second that he could clock his ass out, he's done? Holy shit, this is so bad. I fucking hate this team so much. Wow. Thank you for the $2, Vincenzo. What's going on? How you doing? What did he say? He said he was asked if he has a message for the locker room at this stage. He said, "I don't have a message right now. I don't go into the locker room after the game." He doesn't go into the locker room after games. Holy shit. Holy shit. I want to do things that I can't say on stream to myself right now. There's just no way. And you know what? It's sad because we knew this from the outside. But now that he just admitted it, holy shit. Thank you for the $20. Blackatron, thank you. As a Devils fan, I'm enjoying watching the train wreck. I saw this coming 2 years ago when they hired Lavi and the bloated contracts. This team needs to be ripped to the studs. The rivalry is better when both teams are good. Well, thank you for the $20. I didn't see this. I don't want to say didn't see this coming because I like the Lavi hire, but again, I will repeat exactly what I have said for a bit now. Because the writing was on the wall for me with the core. Once they lost that series to New Jersey, that is when the warning signs kicked in for me. However, though, I wanted Laviolette. He has done a lot of things that I absolutely despise. This core fucking blows. This core sucks. They're done. It has caused the coach to be done. This is exactly why this team is not making the postseason. They're clocking in the work and they're done for the day. They don't care. But I have to say, Gerard Gallant, he told us. He told us. We didn't want to listen when he said this group isn't good enough. And again, there were things that I didn't love from Gallant either. but he was absolutely right with what he said about this team. And so much so that people said that he's a better coach than Laviolette with the poll that I ran recently. Chris Drury's fired. And they hire a smart GM. It's my dream off season. I am not asking for the world here, but I guess I'm asking for the world here. I just want competence. That's all I want. I'm not asking for the world here. Just some competence, you know? Instead, we're gonna get John Tortorella probably and a couple of players on no move clauses. Yeah, they lose and say we got paid. Pretty much. Yeah, I mean this wouldn't surprise me if this is the off season right here. And like a 7-year contract, 8 mil to Dmitry Orlov after moving Keandre Miller. Get rid of Tanner Glass. The fact that Tanner Glass is employed by this team is just better get Eric Robinson in the offseason. No, they'll Eric Robinson should stay as far away from this team as he could. They'll ruin him and he's gonna have to play overseas because of it. Just keep him far away from this team. I love Eric Robinson. You guys know that. Just keep him far away. Like he deserves better than this. Yep, like Mika said, don't care if they play like that and they win, but when they lose, that's when it's a problem. Which clearly it's not a problem because when they lose, I just see no urgency. Wouldn't shock me if that happened either. I mean, I don't see that ever happening, but it wouldn't shock me. All right. I'm going to wrap things up here because I got a Mets show to do literally right after this. So if you guys are Mets fans, go check out Mets Central. I'll be live there yapping about the Mets for a couple of minutes and I'll have a much better time. I can tell you that right now. I just wanted to get the vomit out first. I wanted to just, I guess, make myself angry first a little bit. So then the Mets stream is going to be even more enjoyable. But thank you everyone for tuning in and watching. Thank goodness this is almost done. That's all I could say.